Speaking of Satan, boy is he great. Satan's probably responsible for most of the great films, definitely all the great music of the last century. And this movie is really, I think, treats him right. Really gives him the respect that he deserves. He or she. I'm sorry, it's the 90s. I'll be fair. But not only do we have with us in our hearts Satan to enjoy this film, EVILSPEAK, but we also have a very special guest who's here in the house tonight, and I think everyone here is aware of that fact, partly because of the inflated ticket price to get him out here, but also because you're all huge fans of the man who's about to come to the stage, Mr. Clint Howard.
This really was my coming-of-age movie. I had sex for the first time while making this picture. Is that in the movie? No, it's not in the movie. A behind-the-scenes moment. But just in general, I was on my own for really the first time and developed a camaraderie with Eric Weston, the director, and Irv Goodenough, the cinematographer, and we really felt like the three amigos making this movie. And I really appreciated the fact that the director and the cinematographer sort of included me in the creative process. And I remember it being a very hard job to do because it was a modestly budgeted horror film at the time. We worked our asses off, and I still am very proud of the movie. And I know the print is a little dated. This is Eric Weston's personal director's print of the picture. Old times, old times. You folks in the front row are in extreme danger.
Oh, speaking of sex in this movie, I just want to point out that the rapist janitor in this film, R.G. Armstrong, is one of the great character actors.
R.G. and I there were a couple of little scenes in the picture that were eliminated from this version. R.G. and I spent quite a bit of time working together, and he was a joy to work with. Listen, everybody was. I kept my distance from the bullies. Don Stark, who played Bubba, he didn't really want to treat me nicely, and I didn't really want to spend any time around him, so I kept my distance from him. But R.G. and I worked really closely together and got along really great.
This isn't actually about this movie, but I was channel surfing the other night, right when I planned on coming to see Rock and Roll High School, and I flipped on a Star Trek, and I saw you. How old were you in that one?
I was about 6 years old. The Corbinite Maneuver.
Yeah.
It was actually the 4th episode that they manufactured of Star Trek. It was episode number 4.
So you were 6 years old, but they had you drinking the space liquor, right?
Yeah, trying.
Yeah.
Space liquor. I hated it. It was pink grapefruit juice, and I detested pink grapefruit juice. I can't drink the shit to this day.
In the red shirt day.
So, speaking of channel surfing, earlier tonight you played Spock on Fringe, so...
Yes, sort of, kind of, a weird version of. Yes, did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow! I'm TiVoing it at home. Was I any good? Yeah, no, as a matter of fact, I did. I had to go back and loop a couple of lines in that sequence, so just a few weeks ago. I only shot that thing about a month ago. Fred Toy, who is a big Star Trek fan, he's one of the producers of Fringe, and he was the one that really asked me to be in that episode because he remembered me from the original Star Trek, and they all thought JJ and I guess Fred, they all thought it would be a good fit. But I was in Heroes a couple of weeks ago, and Alan Arkish, who directed Rock and Roll High School, which a lot of us saw last night, he directed the episode of Heroes I was in. So, listen, it kind of goes around in a big circle.
Did your brother Ronald direct you another movie? I know he directed you in his first film, GTA. So.
Yeah, I hope to God he hires me some more because he pays real well. You know, he's got this movie coming out, this little tiny movie, Angels and Demons. And I was angling real hard to play a Swiss guard, but I'm not really the right body shape. You know, so shit, I'm not in that one.
Are you planning on doing any more variety shows?
Oh Lord. Well, you know, I would love to. That Clint Howard variety show was a real blast to do. Until they can figure out a way to make it so you can earn some money doing those little webisodes as they call them. You know, I don't work like too hard for free. Working on the Clint Howard variety show was certainly working too hard.
Do you have a starring role coming up? What is the next movie that you're going to carry?
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a really nice part in a little movie called Alabama Moon that a local, Tim McCannelly's made. Yeah, we shot it at the end of last year. It's based on a book of the same name called Alabama Moon. Jimmy Bennett, who plays young 12-year-old Captain Kirk in the Star Wars movies, Star Trek movies. He's the star of the movie, and I play his adversary. I play this mean constable who chases him around the woods. It's called Alabama Moon, and it's a good part. Me and John Goodman are the two adult name actors in the movie, and it's gonna. I saw it actually while I was here in Austin. Tim showed it to me, and it's a good movie, and they're gonna premiere it at the Toronto Film Festival later on this fall. Coming up in a few weeks, I have a nice part in Night at the Museum Battle at the Smithsonian. And it was fun to work with Ben and Sean Levy. That was a nice experience, and they pay pretty well.
What's your favorite movie that you've been in?
Well, the best movie I've been in was Apollo 13. And it was a good experience. Listen, I was a NASA junkie when I was a kid, and I certainly really felt honored and felt like it was really cool to get to be part of recreating, you know, what was going on during the mission of Apollo 13. So I felt that was a cool experience, and I had a great time, and it is a wonderful movie. But I have a soft spot in my heart for a little movie called Ice Cream Man. You know, Ice Cream Man boy, you know, you have a happy day when you watch Ice Cream Man. The sad part about it is the folks that made it finished in debt, and they finished in debt to the wrong people, which is the laboratory, and they never ever got possession of the negative. So there are no 35mm prints of Ice Cream Man, because as they were finishing it, they were in debt, and they never paid off the lab, and of course the lab held the negative, and so no prints were ever struck of the movie. Now, I know it's been out in DVD, but in terms of being able to come here and show it, one time there was a screening in Chicago where they had a Clint Howard night, a radio station in Chicago had kind of a Clint Howard Film Festival where they showed EVILSPEAK and they showed Ice Cream Man and they showed Rock and Roll High School. That was a fun evening. Like this place, they served liquor and everybody got drunk. And Ice Cream Man played really good as the third show. It was fun, but it was screened, you know, video projection, and it wasn't as good as EVILSPEAK or Rock and Roll High School. So, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Ice Cream Man.